Welcome to Mathematics Form 3. I am your teacher, Mr. Nderitu, and we proceed from where we left. We are still on the first topic in Form 3, known as quadratic expressions and equations. Remember, it is a continuation of what we did in Form 2 about quadratic equations and expressions, but now we are learning a new method known as completing square method. Last time, I did one example that involved a value or a quadratic that has a as 1. And then we ask ourselves, what happens if that value of a is not equals to 1? I have some examples that I want us to solve together. The first example reads, solve the following quadratic equation. Solve the following quadratic equation. And the equation that we are talking of is 2x squared plus 3x minus 7 is equals to 0. Now, we notice that this quadratic has a value, a being greater than 1. And in our case, a is equals to 2. Meaning that our method might work very well. We might complete the squares correctly. But now when we come to the shortcut that we had learned of square rooting the first value, these two will bring issues. So in the solution step 1, we normally say that for purposes of having this question becoming easy, we first eliminate these two, and it is very simple. We can take the equation, we divide by 2 everywhere. So what will happen if I divide by 2? I am able to eliminate this a and make it to be equals to 1. So the question now becomes x squared plus 3 all over 2x minus 7 all over 2 is equals to 0. Because you know 0 divided by any number is equals to 0. At this level now, I can continue with my formula known as completing square, where we said we normally take this c, we remove it from here, we take it on the other side, so that now we have x squared plus 3 all over 2x, there will be no c, is equals to 7 all over 2. So we complete this c, and we know that b all over 2 squared is equals to ac. Therefore, I take the value of b, which is 3 over 2. So what is 3 over 2 divided by 2? Because our b is 3 over 2. So divided by 2 becomes 3 all over 4 squared is equals to c, since our a is equals to 1. Therefore, I come and substitute it here. So I'm going to come back to my equation. I add, this is the same as saying 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. So c is equals to 9 over 16. So I come and add 9 over 16 on one side, and I repeat the same for the other side of that equation. So now I now have the question as x, I'll write it here, x squared plus 3 over 2x plus 9 over 16 is equals to, I want you to assist me to add this. What is 7 over 2 plus, this is 7 over 2 plus 9 over 16. So let me do that. 7 over 2, then we add 9 all over, we add 9 all over 16. So I'm getting my value as this. My calculator is giving me 4.0625. Now, the next step, once I've made this a perfect square, because this process was to make this to become a perfect square, we say the shortcut is, there's a shortcut for that. Once you make it perfect, you come and square root the first number. So what is the square root of x squared? It is x. Then you come and take the value or the sign of b, which is plus, and square root the last number, which will give us 3 all over 4, is equals to, you put a bracket there and you put square. That's why we call them perfect squares. Is equals to 4.0625. 4.0625. At this level, we normally say now we square root both sides. So square root both sides, and we have this will be, what will happen here? The square root cancels the square. So we remain with x plus 0.75, which is also known as 3 all over 4. Then square root, let me pick my calculator again. We are looking for the square root of, let us see, the square root of 4.0625. Yeah, it gives me, you can confirm this from your side. I'm getting it as equals to, remember here we said we write it as plus or minus 2.016. I've rounded it off. And at this stage, we now have two answers. Because of this plus and minus, we can get two answers. The first one is when this is plus, so I move it there and I get x1 is 2.016 plus 0.75, giving me 6. We add them. Now we subtract because it is a subtraction sign. Once it was plus. So I subtract. So this will give me 6. This will be, because I had borrowed 1, 9. So this will be 2 and 1. That is our first answer. The second answer, x2, is when this one is minus. When this is minus, so it will now be negative 2.016 minus, because this is plus, so minus 0.75, and this will give us, you better use a calculator here, this will give us 667.2, negative 2.766. Now, this method, I can do a summary as I wind up. This method is very easy, because number one, we are saying divide by this value of a, so that you can make it to become 1. When it is 1, it is easier. From there, eliminate the c. You don't have a c now. From there, come and create your own c, add it on both sides, and then from there, we can factorize using that shortcut that we learned, where you square root the first number, x, square root the last number, 3 over 4, and put it in a bracket, then you write it as a square. We call it a perfect square. Finally, you square root both sides, and now we can see that x plus 0.75, this 0.75 is 3 over 4, is equals to, remember here you must say plus or minus. If you don't say plus or minus, you will not have two different answers. Now we have come to the end of that. Next time, I'm going to teach you another method of solving quadratic, not by using completing square method, but I'm going to show you a method known as the quadratic formula. And please, next time, carry your tables, because we want to copy it from our mathematical tables. So thank you very much. Let us meet next time.